Radio Rambo, ears up, this is Easy Diesel, driving northbound up the Niner. Look, I don't know who's out there listening, but I sure got a hell of a story to tell. I was just swinging on a bum load, busting a hot bird dog on an East Coaster, when I started feeling shat-laced. So I pulled my riggy into a motel in Niagara Falls for an overnighter. I was treating my toots to a hangman's delight when I noticed some strange activity in the room next door.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Every couple hours, there was this red van. It'd pull up and drop off 3 or 4 people at a time. Always some tied-eyed poncho pushers,
You know?
escorting a couple dazed-looking ingenues, leading them into a room in their trance-like state. First I thought that this was just a lewd game of blind man's finger, but then I realized all these people were going in, but none were coming out. There must have been 30 or 40 people in that one small room, and that ain't right. I decided this needed a man's investigation. I stood outside their door, but I heard nothing. I banged on a cinder block with a shovel for a while, but nobody peered out the window. Somehow that room seemed to be empty. The next time that van pulled up and dropped off more disappearing party cargo, I got in my truck and I followed it. A daring exploit to a truck man was like nectar to a bumblebee, and my proboscis was twitching something foul. I stuck a sticker on that van's dick for about 20 minutes. It pulled off the freeway and then drove me through an intentional community of co-parental homesteaders. All the streets were named after characters from Nora Ephron novels, like Sam Road, Robb Street, and Julie Way. I continued following it as it cut through a dark wooded stretch, until it opened up to a manicured estate crowned by a glorious mansion with a backdrop of scary orchards. That van pulled up the drive and into a garage, and I parked my semi behind a bush so no one could see it. I crept up behind that mansion. I waited by a back service door until a chef came out to smoke a beady. Before he could see me, I pounced, knocked him out cold with a pile driver. I slowly removed his clothes with my switchblade, and I rolled his body underneath a nearby canoe. Put on a chef suit, and I blended myself into that kitchen, which should come as no surprise, since I was once a profiterole runner on a Kentucky cruise ship in my youth. Anyway, after pumping out a dozen bread loaves in the shape of baby dolls with the boys, I snuck out into the hallway to find out more about what's going on with this satanic baloney that was afoot. It was rich shit like I'd never dreamed of. I must have passed 3 or 4 robots and a bunch of bins full of free pumpkins. Then I reached a huge metal door, like something you might find in a rich man's sewer. And engraving on it read, Operation Midnight Fall. I pushed it open, and there I was roosting my beef in a massive abandoned opera house, all Argento-like, blistering with decay but crawling with activity. Under the proscenium, there was dozens of fine young sleepy ladies and gents with wires and tubes sticking out of their heads, leading out the back to running mill wheels and coggle engines connecting to log rides that feed into smoking chemical drums that line the brinks of industrial water farms guarded by dirty people with sticks. There was beeping and steam sounds, and scientists with white lab coats and even whiter dreadlocks. They had these Scooby-Doo marijuana rings under their eyes. They kept communicating in scientific code.
You gotta put that brownie in your urethra.
Holy Bocephus. I stumbled upon an infernal project. Here was secret society, experimenting on innocent human beings, extracting the fog of souls to be used as some super drug. I wasn't sure about the extent of their plan, so I consulted the tarot. From my pocket I pulled a card, the Wheel of Crabs. This can only mean one thing. These rusted root Bilderbergs are about to release this midnight misty fog straight into the water supply. That's some ass in the jackpot now. I was about to snap some pics to send to Washington, but then one of the guards noticed I was wearing footwear, and I knew I was busted. Chasing commenced. I knocked over a flaming sconce to screw him up, and then I escaped through some ductwork, exiting 2 stores down into a pony corral. I got in my truck and I sure didn't turn around. I got nobody else to tell all this to but y'all. No one's gonna believe me. I got a hunchback and a bad habit of huffing bug spray. And now as I sing my spit into CB radio land, this whole night has got me thinking about the dynamics of power. High society is always stooping so low, and the low always trying to be that high society. Y'all make no mistake. Right about now, the real power in this country is flower power. And they won't stop until we're all humming their tune. But don't you worry, truckers. Our time in power will come soon. Just don't drink the water and just keep trucking on.